What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So following on from my last upload, this is John's 128 cube Fatboy. Now originally, if you watch that video, you know it's a 128 cube and we did the S&S550. John already had that camshaft. He was asking me about it and I said, well, look, hey, I've never used it in a build. I've tuned them before, but never installed one and done it. So why not give it a shot? I didn't actually have anything on the shelf at the time that I thought would be a good option for him to, just considering what was going on. I said, let's just use the one you've already got and we'll see what happens. Now, John's bought the bike back. This is about a week or so later since he's had the bike. And while he's happy with how it was, the power and all that sort of stuff was concerned, he wanted a little bit more of the chop. So we opted for, well, John suggested the 483. I was a little hesitant, admittedly, because being a Gen 2 bike, we wasn't sure how it was going to respond, and I do know that we can have some rideability issues in some of the Gen 1 stuff as well, different exhaust systems and stuff. We can lose a little bit of rideability. So I said, look, I'm happy to do it, but just be aware there may be some issues with the rideability. But anyway, moving on. I've got it installed and we've gone ahead and got this thing tuned up. Now we've got a phenomenal result as far as I'm concerned, because I did not expect to see exactly, well, let's just go up and have a look and I'll show you. Alrighty, guys, check it out. The 483 went 138 and 153, nearly 154 foot-pounds of torque. So let's have a look. I'll bring up the S&S550. So have a look at that. We went 142 and 150. Now, of course, we made that extra 4 horsepower that was at the top here. So the red is the 550. That's the horsepower right at the top. Now, I would sacrifice that 4 horsepower for that increase in torque. Now, this is another thing I want to explain. This is peak to peak. So we made 3 foot-pounds more at the peak. So, this one happened at 3,900. That one happened at 42. So not only is it making it earlier, which it's obvious this is a smaller camshaft, it's a torquey cam, we are making it sooner. The peak is bigger, but not only that, the gain through the middle here, let's just have a look at this at 3,500 RPM. We were making 132 there originally with the 550 from S&S. We're now making 144. So that is a huge increase there. It's an average of about 13 foot-pounds right in that big usable chunk there, from 3,000 to 4,000. There's a huge increase in torque right there. So while it's represented here at only a 3 foot-pound peak to peak, you have to take into consideration the area under the graph where it counts. So again, I know we love the correction factors. So everyone, we are here in the standard correction factor. So I'm going to go and do it here in real time for you guys and show you exactly what we're doing. So we're going to select SAE, the Society of Automotive Engineers. Now we're going to apply that, watch the numbers. So that goes to 136, 152, and the 142 drops down to 141 and 148. So guys, I'm really happy with this. I knew that this camshaft would obviously make more torque, but this increase in the middle here, that's really, really going to feel very strong. I definitely sacrificed that bit of horsepower at the top for this improvement here. Again, you can still see that bit of a sag there in the torque curve. But guys, remember, that is all due to the pipe here. So that's what, the pipe is doing that. And we are running this little air filter here. I haven't bothered, taking that one off. If I took it off, we'd probably see a number or two up there, but I'm really not worried about it because the results are pretty good nonetheless. But this thing has come up really, really well. I'm stoked. So guys, I guess the point of today's video was more or less trying to explain, or just at least showcase, that you don't need to lift the valve huge. I mean, we don't need big lift in these things. We've proven that a lot, and the guys from APE have proven that a lot over the years in the Gen 1 stuff. Even in this Gen 2 stuff, like, sure, they come with big lift springs out of the gate, out of the factory. You can put in big cams straight out of the gate, and while that's great, I mean, still proving it here, with these small drop-in cams, that's an incredible result. If you're comparing that to, if this was going in a Gen 1 bike, you'd have to put in the bigger valve springs to support that 550 cam, whereas the 483 will bolt straight in. Now, I know those results here aren't going to be the same because the Gen 1, Gen 2 bike, there's obviously different, different intake manifold, different throttle body, different cylinder heads. I'm aware of all that. But in this example here, it just goes to show you do not need to lift the valve all the way up to get this thing to make power. Like, for this customer in particular, guys, this is very specific, but it's just one of those examples where I find bigger is not always best. Well, a lot of us all know that, but this is just good to see it here in real time with the data on the dyno. So very, very happy with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly had a great time doing it. I know he's definitely going to be wrapped with that increase in torque there. That thing is making a lot more torque right where you use it, guys. So great one today. I'm stoked. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you did, give us a like, put a comment down the bottom, subscribe if you haven't. There's plenty of other content there, guys. And yeah, I'll see you next time.